What's going on, everybody? Riley McShane from Allegaeon here with Revolver magazine, and this is the best shirt ever. So I got this shirt back in 2017 in October. I was out in Denver, Colorado, which is where Allegaeon is based, but I live in San Diego, California, so I don't usually go out there unless I'm doing Allegaeon business. In this case, it was a photo shoot right before a tour that we had with Naval Viscaris. But we were all out downtown grabbing some beers, and we noticed that Cattle Decapitation was playing like just a few miles away in this place called the Larimer Lounge. So we hit up our dudes in Cattle. We had just toured with them for the Metal Blade 35th anniversary tour earlier that year. So we hit him up and got lunch, and I actually ended up driving their old bass player, Derek, to Guitar Center. I think Travis was with us too. Derek needed some like tab books, and Travis ended up getting like some in-ears or something like that. But we went to Guitar Center, came back, all had some lunch and hung out for a little bit before the show started. And during conversation, I was like, "Oh, dude, who else is playing at this show?" And it was during their tour with Artificial Brain, Revocation, and Full of Hell. So I had heard Full of Hell before via their recordings, but had never really gotten super into them. I grew up listening to a lot of grindcore, so it definitely tickled my fancy. But I just had been so busy with music that I didn't really have much time to dedicate to just listening to stuff. So we walk into this venue, and it is tiny. Much smaller than I had expected for a show of that magnitude. And I think it was smaller than everyone else expected to, because that show was packed. It was sold out, packed to the gills, really, really small room for that lineup. So the energy was super high. It was a super fun show. I watched Artificial Brain, and I watched Revocation, and then I believe that Full of Hell played right before Cattle. And they blew my mind. The energy was so incredible, and they just absolutely crushed it that night. Super, super fun show, and I was an immediate lifelong fan from that point forward. So went over to the merch table, bought this bad boy, which as you can see is pretty sick. That is a pretty rad shirt design. And I've had it ever since. I wore it as a stage shirt actually for a few tours after that, just because I loved it so much. I wanted to have photos taken on stage wearing this thing. So yeah, it was super cool. I've seen Full of Hell a few times now since then, and absolutely love that band. I highly recommend listening to them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys for watching. I'm Riley McShane from Allegaeon, and this is the best shirt ever.